But if there's one area that this season's going to be remembered for, it's for the title fight which Arsenal gave to Manchester City, who were back-to-back champions heading into the season, looking for that three-peat, which I know you did, of course, many years ago. Been there, done that, got the medals at home. But for Arsenal, having not won the Premier League trophy in years, this was their best chance that we've seen since they lifted the trophy. What went wrong for them? Why was City able to pip them to the post yet again?
I believe mentally they collapsed. They couldn't deal with the pressure so much. They had all the signs to be champions. They had all the signs to finish the season well. But it seems like some of the players, not everyone, but some of the players look tired at the end of the season. It's a case for Saka, which was not as sharp as he was. He was not decisive as he was, scoring goals or assisting. He was, to me, the best player of the season. He is, to me, probably the best player of the league. But still, when he's not so sharp offensively and he's not decisive, the full team is impacted. Thomas Partey, to me, has a blame into Arsenal difficulties into winning games, because at some point he started being a bit easy on the ball. He started losing ball that he didn't. He started losing challenges that he didn't also. It's a case against West Ham, it's a case against other teams also. He's not the only one to blame. They are not the players to blame, but because they are so big players and they have so much influence into the squad positively, but when they feel not so good physically and tactically, you feel the difference. Arsenal, to be champion, I think they should be able to rely on other players. You cannot rely on one or two players, and that was the case, unfortunately, for them.
Dwight, your take on Arsenal's collapse this season?
Yeah, I think a lot of people is obviously say from a mental standpoint, and they, sort of blowing it in many respects. But I think when you look a little bit deeper, I just think that Arsenal, for all the fantastic football that they have played, and they have shown resilient at times where they come back from crucial situation where they're backed up against the wall, and then suddenly you realize, well, this Arsenal team has got the character to really sort of gone on to win the Premier League this season. But for me, what I didn't see at the latter stage when they were tested, they were still trying to play fantastic football, play teams off the park. And when you get to the crucial, or what we call the business end of the season, I didn't see enough 1-0. I didn't see the grind out the results. I see a team that was wanted to play this free-flowing football, exciting way of playing football. No. That was all good and exciting in the middle stage of the season when everyone says how fantastic that they looked, and it was amazing. Arteta was doing great with the players. We've seen players scoring from all angles. As he mentioned, Saka there, that sort of free-flowing football is all well and good. But sometimes I didn't see the resilience towards the end of the season when the crunch time really kicked in. They went and played open football against the likes of City away. No, you don't do that. You go and you try to nick that game 1-0. And that's what made champions. Yes, they probably have 1 and 2 players who obviously won Premier Leagues, but they haven't got the experience of how to win Premier Leagues. And I think that's where they faltered. They didn't go up in smoke like some people are. They just needed to understand how to win the Premier League. And by doing that, certainly the last 10 games of the season, it wasn't always fantastic football. We've all been there. You win games by grinding out results, sometimes 1-0. And I just think this Arsenal team was a little bit naive, feel that every game that they've gone into, we need to win 2, we need to win 3. No. Win the game 1-0, tick that box and move on to the next game. I just feel that I didn't see enough of that, and that's where I think they falter. Because they had outstanding players and they were tested at times throughout that season, show me and indicate that they were really good to really push City all the way. But at the crucial time when they needed to be a little bit more clever in the approach and the setup, certainly you got to game management is what it's called. You got to manage those games well. I didn't think Arsenal managed those games correctly towards the end.